Hey, Pastor Steve here. Hope that you're having a great week. If you listened to the video last week, you knew how I was constantly picking up sticks. And I decided to be intentional about picking up even the small sticks because then we can use them to start a fire and have some s'mores as a family. And the application was to really be intentional about working on things in our lives rather than just working about the big things or picking up things when there's a big disaster. And, I was picking up sticks because some of the sticks fell because of situations around us. You just got to work at things. But also some of the sticks were on the ground because I caused them. I was intentional about cutting some dead branches off of some of our trees. We have this lilac tree in our yard, and I'm no gardener by any means, and I may be doing it wrong, but I know that if you cut off some of the dead parts of this lilac tree, that they'll grow more lilac flowers in the next years. And we had been negligent on cutting some of these dead pieces off this tree for the last couple of years. So I was out there really cutting things off of this tree so that we can see more growth later on. But I was very precise and intentional and meticulous about what I was cutting off. I wouldn't go to that tree and just start hacking at stuff. We have another tree in our yard, a big maple tree. And the town had come through, I think last year, and were cutting off branches that were close to the power lines to prevent potential power outages. On one of the trees, they just really cut a bunch of the branches off the front and left like half of the tree only standing. And this year I noticed a big crack in one of the main branches of this giant maple tree. And someone said, perhaps the tree had experienced quite a bit of stress from all the hacking done last year. And I think those things apply to our lives as well. There's a way in which we can approach situations and conversations in our life very meticulous and thoughtful and precise, and ways in which we can just hack at it and we're just trying to solve the problem, and we may have created more problems in the midst of that. This past weekend's message from Pastor Neil about our words is so good. It reminded me of Proverbs 15:23 that said, a person takes joy in giving an answer. I've got an answer to that problem. You're like a little kid who knew the answer in school to the question. They couldn't wait. I know the answer to that. I want to share that with you. And it's so good that we have the answer. But a timely word, how good is that? A timely word. Saying the right thing at the right time is better than saying, the right thing at the wrong time. And so we got to be very specific and meticulous and precise about what we say, when we say it, why we say it, and so on. And that's really important in how we deal with one another. There's a lot of issues that we can talk about and discuss. There's a lot of things happening in our world that need to be talked about, but sometimes we aren't very good at having those types of conversations. We feel that we have an answer. We feel that we know the right thing, and we can't wait to share those with others. However, it may not be done in the most gentle way or the most intentional way to provide growth. It is just to give our answer. And Proverbs 18, in the first couple of verses, speak to this as well. It says in Proverbs 18, verse 1, one who isolates himself pursues selfish desires. He rebels against all sound wisdom. Now, we could use that verse and say we don't need to quarantine because the Bible says right here that if we isolate ourselves, we're rebelling against all sound wisdom. Well, this is actually in connection with verse 2 that talks about a foolish person. So let's read verse 2. Verse 2 says, a fool does not delight in understanding, but only wants to show off his opinions. So what this is saying is that a foolish person doesn't really care what other people think. And in fact, they don't even want to hear the other side of the story. They don't want to gain any understanding. They only want to tell people what they know, what their opinion is. And so they really begin to isolate themselves or draw back from other conversations. And I'll be honest, this can be me sometimes. I don't necessarily like confrontation. I get a little frazzled if I don't quite know the answer, or I have a hard time articulating the answer. I'll just want to withdraw a little bit, at least for a little bit of time. And if I'm pressured to give an answer, I may not do it in the most gentle and precise way. And so the encouragement for us is to have real conversations where not only are we giving our answer, or giving our understanding, giving our opinion, but we're also taking the time to listen to the other side, to realize that we may not have all of the answers, and that there's always something that we can learn. And that's really difficult when we think that someone is attacking us, where they're just wanting to chop us to pieces. And there are some people who they just want to hack and chop and really vomit words on us. But we can, in how we respond, ask them perhaps some follow-up questions. Well, you said this. What do you mean by that? And not doing it in a manipulative, destructive way, but out of a spirit of really wanting to gain some wisdom. And this can apply not only on social media, which is extremely hard to have a real conversation, but really apply to your perhaps family situation with your spouse, having a conversation with them. Some people, they just like to external process, and they're talking and talking, and maybe those people need to slow it down and listen in order to really gain the other side. Now, if you're having a conversation with me, I may not respond right away because I'm trying to get the gears going. Some are internal processors. And so if you're asking them a question that you're wanting an answer to, you're going to have to give them some time to get the gears going, to get the gas in the engine, to prime it up, to give it a pull, and to get it going in order for them to generate a very precise and specific answer that they're working on. So I would say be gentle and patient with us who are a little slower and internal processors. And when you're dealing with someone who is an external processor, well, you just have to give them some space for them to just say everything that they have on their mind. And then hopefully they'll give you the opportunity to ask some questions or to share your side of the story. And that's important when it comes to dealing with our kids. Often as a parent, we're just going to tell our kids what to do. And sometimes we ask them questions that they have no idea what the answer is. Like, right? They do something, you're like, why in the world did you do that? They have no idea why they did that. But perhaps you can have some conversations with them and allow them to process, maybe there's a reason why they did it and they just not sure. But if you ask the right questions, give them some space and patience to answer, they'll not only be able to discover the answer, but they'll be able to help themselves in future decisions. And so I hope that's a little bit of encouragement of how we talk to one another, how we slow things down, how we're very intentional and precise with our words, that we're very timely with what we say, but that we're willing and open to have these conversations, to spend time with each other, really trying to gain more understanding. And that's really important and really difficult in today's age where we just want information so fast. You've probably already turned this video off because it's too long. Anyways, well, I hope that you're having a great week. We're praying for you, and God bless. See you later.